If you want to check out the whole show, hit the link here at the bottom of the screen, available exclusively on odds.com. But most importantly, get paid in full. All right, we have 2 games left, and then we put a bow on this. We have the First Responder Bowl, number 19th ranked Louisiana Ragin Cajuns, 9-1 versus UTSA Roadrunners, 7-4. Gerald J. Ford Stadium, Dallas, Texas. It says 3:30 p.m. Eastern at ESPN. It may not be that time. Let's go. Louisiana is rolling. Right now they are 13 or 13.5 point favorites, and this total is at it's gone from 60 down to 57.5. Louisiana rolling. Their lone loss was a tight 30-27 setback to now number 12 ranked Coastal Carolina. They bounced back by winning 6 straight, last seen in a 24-21 win at App State, which was much better than the score indicates. Their long snapper was smoking rocks, and he was just firing the ball, 30 feet over people's heads. They stopped kicking the ball, and they even had their quarterback, Levi Lewis, run 40 yards backwards to take a safety at one point, just to ensure that the long snapper didn't have to snap the ball. It was it had all the elements of a great college football game. Their offense puts up 33.9 points per game and gains 422.6 yards per game. And I just mentioned Levi Lewis. I love him. His numbers don't jump out at you. 60.5% of his passes he completes, 2,128 yards, 17 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. I don't have the number in front of me. He runs for 326 yards or something like that. But he's a senior, and the players, they fight for him. They love him. They have a 2-headed monster running back with Elijah Mitchell, who had 122 carries for 751 yards, 7 touchdowns, and Trey Ragas, who had 117 carries for 660 yards and 9 touchdowns. And look at this. This is another thing that you just love about Levi. 12 different receivers caught touchdown passes for the Ragin Cajuns. I love this team, and I wish I could have bet them. I wish that game against Coastal Carolina didn't get dropped, because at plus 3.5, I would have taken the Ragin Cajuns. I've fallen for this football team. The defense just allows 21.8 points per game, 347.8 yards per game. Then we have UTSA. Finished their season strong, winning 3 straight. They were last seen defeating North Texas at home 49-17. They scored 28.6 points per game. They gained 413.9 yards per game. Junior Frank Harris completed 63.8% of his passes, 1,422 yards, 10 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Dual threat, also ran for 437 yards. Running back Sincere McCormick, excellent this year. He was a monster. 226 rushes, 1,345 yards, 11 touchdowns. They allowed 25.2 points per game and 381 yards per game. And their leader on defense, their safety, Rashad Wisdom, 82 tackles, 4 interceptions, has a left arm injury, and his status is unclear for the First Responder Bowl. Wow, what an interesting spot here. We're talking Ragin Cajuns, so I'd love to hear Big Boss's take on them. So why don't we start with Big Boss in this spot? 13.5 points is a lot of points. What do you think here, Boss?
Man, these guys are the guys that could do it, man. They've been fired up all year. They made it over the App State Mountain. Like you said, they could have gave Coastal Carolina a run for their money. They playing good on both sides of the ball. UTSA, I can't vouch for them, but this Ragin Cajun team, this is the year for them. Getting over App State, that was objective number 1. And that objective number 2 is to come on with the bowl victory. The points is kind of high. I ain't gonna lie. Points is kind of high. Don't like laying the number, but in these bowl games, I mean, what am I to do? I can't see me putting my money on UTSA. UTSA is going to hope that their offense shake loose and just happen to be a little faster than them, and they score some points in the air. But this Ragin Cajun team has been tested in the air, on the ground. They play a very controlled game and all that. So I really like the under too, but I don't know. It might be a little bit too low for me. So I'm going to go ahead and lay the points.
Laying the points with Louisiana Lafayette. The Louisiana.
Hey, wait. I haven't said it yet on the show. I'm going to go ahead and lay the wood.
There it is. Minus 13 at minus 110. So you save the hook at PointsBet. All right. Big Boss is in. Let's go to Big Ragu. Second last game on the card. The First Responder Bowl.
Yeah, Louisiana. I'm not going to say they're a forgotten team, but that would have been a key matchup it was too bad they couldn't realign these guys to play this in the bowl game, right? Just kind of flip a couple teams around. But anyways, this is a game for these guys about pent up frustration. They had a pretty decent season. Usually they're playing in the big championship game, so they had a lot of things kind of go parallel for them not to kind of get over that hump. Some quality wins. The thing about this team is when they beat teams, they're beating a little better quality teams than UTSA has. And UTSA, even they had some struggles with Southern Miss, and they lost to Florida Atlantic, 24-3. They beat North Texas last out, so they beat some mediocre teams, and they've given up like 20, an average of 20 points a game roughly against those teams too. But they haven't played anybody like this team yet that they're going to come up against, and I think it's a pent-up game for Louisiana. They want to definitely win this and go in away fashion to prove that maybe going into next year they could be like one of the top dogs, which they will be anyways in the Sun Belt Conference. And just a quality game. I think you're going to see a quality game out of Louisiana. Napier knows what he's doing down there. The kids, they always play for him. And better talent, the better coach, better quality opponents. And I'm gonna be with my guy DJ, and I'm gonna say lay the heavy wood in this one. Don't be scared. This would be like triple digits. Triple digit. When I say triple digits, I'm talking 20s. 20-point margin of victory here plus.
Wow, interesting. Their team total is sitting at 35.5. I do remember early in the year, John, when this UTSA team played BYU really tough. A sign of UTSA's ability. They're under the radar squad. I don't know how to handle this bet at this point. Let's hear your take on this spot, John Ryan. Let's go.
I was hoping one of the guys would say something about UTSA and they, taking the bet, but it's hearing that they're going to win by 20 and 30, and DJ and Big Ragoo are very great bettors, so it's hard for me now to even think about going against them, but there is reason to do so. UTSA's ground game has been pretty darn good the last three games: 288, 233, 443. One of those games was against Southern Miss. Wow. Power or the strength of schedule of opponents, UTSA is 24 and Lafayette 28. And that's initially what got me gravitated to this game, that the differential is only 4 and you're getting 14 points. There is a system, I believe, that I saw here on give me 1 second. Yeah, UTSA is a 76% winner since 1990. It's had 49 plays, pretty rare, but pretty damn good. 8-2 the last 3 years. So you're going to play on neutral field underdogs that are good rushing teams, averaging 4.75 or more rushing yards per carry, after gaining 240 or more rushing yards in 3 consecutive games. So that kind of sums up what I was just talking about. They had the last 3 games, the ground game was pretty impressive, and it carries over to this one. So with all due respect to these guys, I'm gonna. And you can mock me till the cows come home when I lose this by 50 points, but I'm going to go with UTSA.
UTSA plus 13.5 at minus 105. Sorry, let me move back over to the spread here. UTSA, who gave that to you? Plus 13.5 minus 105 at DraftKings.
Okay.
So you get that hook on the guys. And then the total here feels with these strong defenses that are very comfortable running the ball. It just feels like this under is in play. I've sort of missed the mark. I think it's going to be a good football game, and I'm going to take the under 57.5. Under 57.5 at minus 105 at PointsBet is my move on it. Under 57.5 minus 105 at PointsBet.